What a shambles I am. I got confused by the names of the myriad Darkstalker games, none of which make any sense, and I picked Darkstalkers 3 to play instead of the allotted game, which was of course Darkstalkers 2, aka Night Warriors. It's the aka kids that's the problem. Damn you, Capcom. Sort out your naming conventions. Yeah. It's more annoying than when they do like films and they just call something the now, or they just go and just call it the same as the previous. You know, things like when they do like Batman and things like that, where they just go, oh yeah, it's this again. I mean, stop that right now. I mean, you're not going to make a mistake when you're at the cinema, but when the DVDs are out, you might. DVDs, as if. Yeah, so this is Darkstalkers 2. I guess you get a bonus episode. Aren't you all lucky this week? I have had absolutely zero practice on this game. I just went, I'm vaguely annoyed. I'm just going to, just boot this up and start from scratch. I couldn't pick the girl I picked before, because she's not in this one. And looking at the character roster, I know that I've got the right game this time because there's less characters. As we know with beat-em-ups, with each increasing sequel, you get more and more characters until you get to like King of the Fighters, 30,072, and you have more characters than you have people on the planet. So yeah, this is another great Capcom beat-em-up, released in 1995. This one, not 1996 or 7 as the previous game I played. And I've basically decided I'm going to just, so I can get on the wheel for next week, I'm going to enter this in. I'm not that great at it, but it's not a massively hard game either. Yeah, I can see this challenge definitely going this week to timing for people that are reasonably competent at fighting games. I think most of them will get to the last battle. I'm not reasonably decent at fighting games, so I will not be getting to that last battle. However, there has been a couple of people who already have. So, yes, I think this challenge is going to come down to time rather than progress, because I think there's a lot of progress happening in this game. But yeah, I'd be quite happy to play this in the arcade back in 1996 or 7, 5. I mean, I could have played it 2 years after it came out. Because it's fun. It's fun, and you get your money's worth. Unlike Mortal Kombat 2, God, that game is awful. Bugger off Mortal Kombat 2. Yes. So anyway, it's good, fun stuff, and let's just explain the arcade challenge while we're here, in case you've stumbled upon this channel in a drunken stupor, which is most of the time I'm drunk. I'm very stupid. So what it is there's a Facebook group called the RetroTech 100. There's more people than that in the group. It's just the name of the founder, really. And they have a 20p challenge, which is basically you have 2 credits to see how far you get in a game. You can have as many practice runs as you like, or you can go in blind and naked like a virginal boy like I did, and just see how far you get. And I do all right for a fighting game for me. And then so the game is selected on the Sunday. It's picked from a wheel at random. You get a week to put your challenge in. Lots of exciting videos come out with people far worse and far better than me playing. I'm Dr. Average at most games. That dog dancing in the background was amazing, by the way. And yeah, I think I selected in the previous game. I selected Morrigan's sister. Name escapes me now, but I went for her because, basically, I've got rather associated as of late with YouTube and their ban hammer for putting too much nudity in the thumbnails. So the thumbnail I've selected has got boobies on it, but they're covered up by hand, I think. But her sister is basically like 2 cherries on an ironing board. So I thought that would get away with it, and it did. That video has not incurred the wrath of our dear friends at YouTube. Unfortunately, obviously Morrigan, whose tit tape is working overtime, either or she's got little demon hooks on her nipples, which, you know, she might do. Maybe she should spend less time speculating about games characters' nipples, though. Yeah, there you go. And after that little waffle, let's talk about... and if you've not been to the channel before, this is going to take a surprising turn. Now, I've already done animal genital facts this week in the video where I was playing the wrong game. Pure chaos, generally, my week. But you know what? I'm going to give you some bonus facts, and I'm going to... because I think there's going to be animals that I don't think we'll ever cover, because I don't think there's many games with particular animals in. I'm just going to have a look at a... page on the internet that covers weird facts about animal sexual intercourse. So let's talk about initially the male rhesus macaque monkey. Now, the male rhesus macaque monkey will pay to see female rhesus macaques' bottoms, and that surprises me. I didn't know there were strip clubs in the jungle, and I'm not sure what mode of currency they pay. Is it nuts or whatever? Do they stuff it down the bras of the female rhesus macaque's bottoms? Is there a rhesus macaque monkey that looks like Nicki Minaj and has got a huge bottom that she twerks? What kind of music do they play? Do they play Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue like they do in strip clubs in LA? There's so many questions. Nearly all bonobos are bisexual, and 75% of bonobo sex is not for reproduction. I mean, that much is obvious. At least 50% of it wasn't going to be, was there? You know, and if they are, they're doing it the wrong way. Let's have a look, see if there's any more facts. A male damselfly's tiny penis contains an even tinier spoon. Has this writer got it in for damselflies or something? To scoop out leftover sperm from other males in the female's vagina. Very romantic, that, isn't it? In one species of elephant shrew, the end of the penis is spoon-shaped and contains a row of spines. I mean, that sounds like something like a weapon in Mad Max. But yeah, don't put that on your Tinder page there, elephant shrew. Elephant shrews are also the only mammals, apart from primates and bats, that menstruate. Now, the worst part of that sentence to me is if you're a regular spelunker and bats menstruating above you, I don't know, I'd find a new hobby. I mean, it's dangerous enough to go spelunking. That's going in caves, if you're not aware. The fact that a bat might dislodge its period lining onto your head as you're walking past, while it's asleep, to be fair, I'd find that unsettling. Look, here I am fighting myself. Something I do regularly in real life. Yeah. Female pandas. Well, no, we can't cover pandas. I'm sure they're going to come up at some point, and everyone knows about the sex life of pandas. I don't get none. Right, sharks, no. Barnacles. Let's talk about barnacles, shall we? Male barnacles have one of the longest penises relative to their size of any animal, up to 8 times their body length. There's no need to boast about it, frankly, barnacles. Water conditions dictate how a barnacle's penis develops. In calm water, it will grow long and flexible. In rougher seas, they grow a shorter, thicker one. I know that only too well. I live regularly in the harshest, roughest sea. That's my excuse anyway. If a barnacle's penis isn't long enough, it can do something known as sperm casting, in which it sends sperm out to sea for another barnacle to pick up. Some sponges, mollusks and corals sperm cast too. Now, I'm sure if internet porn was around when Nightmare, the television show, was on, someone would have had the porn version of Treyguard spell casting or sperm casting. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't know what you call a porn version of Nightmare. Night molest? I don't know. But yeah, you can just imagine it now, can't you? Spell casting, GIZZINFACE. The sperm of deer mice swim in teams of up to 35. That's a low sperm count there, deer mouse. But 7 is the optimal number of deer mice sperm to have in a team to reach the egg the fastest. So, sperm mice there. Sperm mice? Deer mice. Basically, the sperm works like the Avengers and the eggs Thanos. During sex, flies create a buzz that can attract predatory bats. I mean, is that... I presume they don't mean to attract the predatory bats, or the predatory bats sexy bats? The female lice of the genus Neutrolga have a penis and can have sex for up to 70 hours. Someone's going to get sore there. Can't do squids with... Will no doubt cover squids at some point. The Russian Space Agency has conducted experiments in space to see how microgravity affects sex for geckos. Really important stuff there, Russia. Thanks very much for undermining our democracy and for putting sexy geckos in space. Yes. No, there's a whole bit on snakes and bees. They are definitely coming up soon. Naked mole rats have misshapen sperm with abnormal heads. I mean, they look like penises already, naked mole rats. Like, you know, like a slack penis and a naked mole rat. Never seen in the same place, like Superman and Clark Kent. Male anglerfish, no, we'll probably do gradius at some point. Velvet worms, yes, velvet worms have their genitalia on their head. Dickhead. Elephants, no. We'll do them at some point, I'm sure of it. Dolphins, we've covered them already. Tapirs have a prehensile penis, so they can grip stuff. So, you know, if you've got your hands full, you're out shopping with a tapir. Tapir, not known for having many limbs. If you can't see your shopping bag, or the shopping bag's underneath, clean that shopping bag. What else have we got? Around seahorses there, they'll come up in a game potentially, but I'm going to do it anyway. Around a third of seahorse sex encounters are same sex. I mean, they're pretty good looking, aren't they, seahorses? They essentially look like horses, which, you know, majestic looking animals. You know, I think if I was a seahorse, to be fair, I think I'd just with whoever. Echidnas, no, there's that Sonic beat 'em up. That is it. That is it for your animal genital bonus facts this week. I hope you've learnt something. You learnt about the weird chainsaw penis of some sort of small mammal there. I can't even remember what it was, but that was, I'm sure, very informative for you, as it was for me. I'm sure David Attenborough will be proud to watch this channel. Yeah, so good. So yeah, let's talk about the game a bit. This is Riku. If you remember, like from earlier on in the week, if you watched the other video, you'll know that Riku in Darkstalkers 3 proved to be an unassailable obstacle for me. I used both credits on the scaly bugger. And guess what? It happens again. Yes, Riku here. Riku, the swamp beast, proves to be my nemesis again. He's the enemy of both sisters, both succubi. I'm not a fan of him. Him and his bloody claws. And I bet he smells funny. I bet he smells like, you know that distinctive smell you get when you go to an old person's stall at a boot fair. I bet he smells like that. Or like a World War II museum. I bet he smells, you know, something akin to that. Musty. Which, you know, might attract female Rikus. I have no idea. But he won't be getting none of my succubi, that's for sure. But yeah, anyway, back to the RetroTech 120p challenge. You will still have time to put your entry in, so please do put your entry in. Unless, of course, you're watching this at some point after Sunday in late October. So Halloween. If you're watching this after Halloween, you probably missed your chance. Sorry about that. But once again, what it is you get like there's a group of people on Facebook who play arcade games every week. You can have as many goes as you like, but once you've put your 20p in, fictional 20p obviously, that is it. You must record your run, see how far you get, and then put that video onto YouTube. Or you can put it on Vimeo. I don't think there's any rules against that. And then if you've got the furthest, if you've won the challenge, that's all good and great. You can wear your little badge with pride that we don't give out. And you also get entered into the wheel to pick the next game, which can be whatever game, arcade game you like, as long as we haven't played it before. There's many thousands of games on MAME still to be played. Probably most of the really big name ones we've done already. You know, things like Outrun and Chase HQ and you know, like Final Fight and stuff have probably already gone. But that's not to say there isn't loads of others to do. I'm trying to inflict Quiz and Dragons on people, so people for next week. So people have to play Quiz and Dragons and know about American baseball. There's lots of questions about American sports on there and American politicians and American states, which is going to make me as popular as a fart in a lift or Joseph Fritzl at a parent-teachers meeting. But at the same time, you know, if we're still playing this when we're 704, we'd have to play that game anyway. So I'm doing people a favour. Kind of. But yeah, but I don't think we'll actually, I probably won't get selected this week. There may be like a rick in the digitised wheel that Christian uses. I think I'm pretty much certain that Retro 48K is going to win this week, but I think Mark Blaster's come up back on the scene recently, and I think he may well challenge that throne there. We shall see. But yes, it is worth doing. It is, if you've got you know, a channel you don't usually use, it's worth doing. It's worth getting back in. It's a good way of getting into games, one, you've never played before, or two, you haven't played for a long time. It may give you a little spur to do something with your channel. We don't mind that, do we? We want to see as many retro games channels as possible, all with new content, all doing something different. And yeah, I'm sure you could bring something to the table. So if you're like a passive watcher, you know, have this as your entry point. You know, join the RetroTech group. We're not like a cult, I don't think. I don't know if anyone's got like a Kieran Bowles statue in their house or anything. So yeah, it's basically a game. Look at that, how close that battle was, by the way. Anyway, that's the end of that, isn't it? But yeah, please do join, because I think it, you know, we can always do with more members. It'll, you know, mix up the standings a bit, because I bet there's some really good players out there, and yeah, I think you know, it'd be good fun to see fresh faces involved. And if you're, as I say, a passive watcher, what's the harm in it? What's the harm in it? It's just 10 minutes of your week. So yeah, that is the end of my challenge. Once again, I've underperformed, but then, you know, first time I've ever played the game. But at least I got the right game this time, eh? But until next week, when I will play the right game from the off. Okay, thanks, bye.